Hey guys, this is TGstudios in Roblox Studio. I thought I'd update you on how I'm coming along with this Christmas pack, or this year's Christmas pack. As of now, of recording this, I've actually completed it. So you should be able to see this video ASAP as soon as I upload it. So I thought I'd take you through what's in this pack this year. There's a few little things that are different than last year. I've included a converter for my object thing, or should I say this thing. I've also completed this as far as you see. It's also got a demo mode. So this is the first example on that in the actual Christmas pack itself. You also got a help and how to import things into Roblox and things, and how to move the things around, that sort of thing. So this is going to change throughout next year, should I say. This is just a copy, if you like. I just made a help just so you guys know exactly how it works and things. I might even add another little help thing with this description, so you don't have to load it up and then zoom in. So this thing took me about 20 minutes to write, but then a few hours to try and get it to display. So the controls are as follows. To move your object, in other words, if you want to move it out or zoom out, you press the Y button or Y key on your keyboard. To move backwards it's H. To move left it's G. To move right it's J, etc, etc. And it also got rotation. And you also got a reset, as I said in the previous video of this this projection thing. You also now got in the pack a way of actually uploading your video, your model files. So you can convert it into these sort of formats, basically. So the converter is that one there, the object to vector 3 converter. So it may not work in any other browser apart from Google Chrome and what I mean, Firefox. You would know as soon as you load it and then try and select files. If it does not work, then it may not be compatible with your browser. So what you do with that is hit select files, browse to your model, just say that. Yeah, if it's not recognised file type, it come up with that error. But if you actually select a model, and let's actually select one, it will attempt to convert it. Let's go here. Where are we? Where is my models? Must be in there. And this will spit out a model file that is compatible with Roblox or my script thing. Let's actually open up one of these. I don't think I've got an object file to hand. Basically you just click on it like that, and you click on to the texture file as well if you got one. Then you hit open and it will convert it into something that you can actually load up in Roblox, where all you do after that with the file that it generates is insert with file. That's just right clicking on the folder. Then when it loads up, you just select it where you saved it, basically. And that's it. And then all you do is just hit play or run and browse, and it should be in this list here. Let's actually zoom in a bit. We've got that pyramid thing. Let's control it. There you go. Oh, that's zoom in, sorry, wrong way around. Move left, move right, move left. move up, down, move up, rotate. That's reset. Yeah, this is not perfect at the moment because I'm still working out how to draw the faces and to not draw the back faces. Like in this video, in this shape, as you can see all the way through it. You can see the back faces. Some of them do hide, sort of thing. It's just something that I've got to work on. Or if you guys want to, you got the copy of what I've done. And it's up to you if you want to continue what I've done. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Let's close this down. Close that down. Yeah, it's a little bit of music I'm listening to. Right, so the next one is a bouncing ball with screen. This is my attempt at reading to a 2D table while simulating a analog bouncing ball, if you like. When it loads, that's basically all it is. Right, if we run it. So what you see there is not a GUI, it's actual bricks. And it's just bouncing, simulating a bouncing ball. There you go. It's something that I wanted to design because I might even make a little sign out of it, or even a little game with it. I don't know. It's just a fun little project that I've done. This down here, just me debugging, so you can ignore that if you want. Although, if you want, you can actually go into that and have a look. So what was I doing there? Oh right, that's right. It is using a surface GUI for the changing the surface. I think it's been a while since I've done this. I'll be using that GUI. That might be something that I left in trying something else and didn't use it. I always do that. Let's have a look. No, I don't. Oh, I know what that is. That is for debugging. If I flip this to true and rerun, you should see a grid appear on the screen when it runs, when the camera gets closer to it. There you go. Just to show the individual pixels, if you like. And that is really laggy. So yeah, that's basically all that is. Just this example. If I close it down, we can move on to the next one. I'm sort of rushing through them just to so you get some idea of what's to expect before downloading. This custom enums is basically nothing visual. It's more of a coding practice, if you like, where you got, say in Roblox, you got a material enum of smooth plastic or something. What I was trying to design here was a way of designing your own enum, where in Roblox you got something that looks like this. Material, where I wanted to design my own if you like table or enum, and this code is my attempt at making a text based enum, or custom enum if you want, or CNum. I think I actually named it PEnum. Yeah. So if you run this code, it goes through this file showing you how to sort of use it. There you go. You must have your output open so you can actually see the output of this script. And the actual module script, I think I've already released this, but I thought I add it in the pack as a filler sort of thing. Yeah. So that's basically just making your own custom enum, and you can make those enums equal anything. I think that's how I programmed it. Wait a minute, that's not how enums work, it's just a state. There we go. That's been a while. Right, very quick one, that one. Let's move on. Yep. So this docking clamp is basically my attempt at making the same docking clamp that you find in Space Engineers, and I think I've already got a video up on my channel featuring this. It's basically when a thing gets closer to the clamp, which is this is the clamp, it will put it towards it when you activate it. So if I activate it, yeah, it's not close enough. Come then. There you go. And then if you wanted to, you can pick it up and move away with your vehicle or something. And then when you want to drop it, there you go. So that's basically all it is. It's just that. This doesn't have to be anchored, it can be moving around. I programmed it to be able to do that. The only thing that you might find with the docking clamp is if it's attached to a ship, it may try and pull part of your ship towards it. I haven't programmed for that, so use it with care, as I say, or use it with caution. There we go. Yeah, that's the next one. So this next one is more of a 2D art, if you like, or fractal even. Put my teeth in. It's basically a curve, or should I say a line, that copies itself and then rotates the copy 90 degrees each instance. In other words, there you go. That. And if I did not limit the actual code, it will continue on forever, or even crash my computer or your computer. So if you want to run it limitless, I would where are we? Make that number a huge number. At the moment we've only got 15 steps. So if you think about it, you create one brick, copy it, rotate it 90 degrees in an axis, copy that, that's one step. No, that's 2 steps. So if you do that too many times, it will slow your computer down. So that's the next one. So the next is something I was designing, or should I say coding, trying to get back into coding again. It's a weird one. I just wanted to create an effect as if you're in a magical area, if you like. And I don't think I actually finished it. I got it as far as this. It's as if the sort of particles are rising up from the ground. Kind of like snow, but the reverse, if you like. And of course they wrap around the screen. I think I coded it to do that. No, I didn't. I kind of did, but at the same time they're not quite updating. Need to stop and restart. Yeah, I've been sort of working on these examples, trying to get them ready for release all tonight, and we're also including George in there in this pack, and we will get to him very soon. He's going for an outing, yay! So that's the little example. Here we go. Speak of the devil, as I say, it's George. Basically I've fixed most of his code where beforehand he was not being able to find a path to his vehicle and things, but now he should find any vehicle in your workspace and attempt to drive it. Let's put these back. If you might want to change a few settings in his brain, where I've got this example up and running, where there's no turning in the vehicle, you just go round and round. Well, there is turning, but you don't control the turning, the steering. So if you got a car or something where you want him to drive it, there's one setting in his brain. If I actually go into his brain now, you might want to toggle, otherwise he just drives straight. It's the one that I was trying to find in the George video on my YouTube channel, and I realised later that I was using a previous copy of George, the one without the vehicle thing. So, or it was a copy that was using the roam override for the vehicle as well as outside the vehicle when he's walking. So you want to change that to false if you want him to steer and pathfind inside the vehicle. And yes, I did say that right, he pathfinds inside the vehicle as well. He's quite complex for what he is. And I wrote a few more little functions here and there since the last video, just to make sure, just to sort of bug hunt and things, and change a few things around. If you have up to, I think, 64 copies of him running at once, I'll show you what happens. Copy, paste, let's duplicate, rotate, duplicate, that's 8, duplicate a couple more times. There's a strange effect. It's not coded, it's just something that I think it's Roblox is actually having trouble coding, running in. There we go, we've got 64 Georges. Blimey. Right, let's run it. It might be on my computer only, it might not happen on your computer, but there's a small little bug that I'm not too sure about when it loads. He sort of stops, walks, there we go. So I'm not too sure what that is yet, but other than that, he's actually working. Let's remove a bunch of him. So how many have we got now? We've got 7, that would do. So you should work fine. There you go. They're all running towards that centrifuge. And I've also corrected that, as I said, corrected that his pathfinding. There you go. They go back to their spawn points and then search for another vehicle. And they should see that one. There we go. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a centrifuge what they go towards, it can be any kind of vehicle. I don't know if I expressed that earlier. And you may want to play around with that roam override or vehicle roam override switch inside his brain. Toggle it from true to false. Yeah, so that's George. And if you want, you can add to him. I'm sure he won't mind. But I must express one thing. If you do use him in, say, your place or something, could you give me credit for him? Because he is sort of my creation. So anyway, that's George. Complete. The only thing that might be, he's still sort of a little bit buggy, is when he tries out all the vehicles, gets sick, and then he walks back to his spawn point and just stands there. I don't know what he's doing there. I haven't got that far yet, but he should try out all your vehicles in your place. Anyway, let's move on from George. Yep. So this next one is a funny one. This one tries to simulate a guest in your place that can talk. I know that guests can't talk, some of them, but you know how annoying some guests can be when they try and play with you. They play with me, sort of thing. Or, oh my god, it's blah blah blah. Alright, I'll show you this. It's exactly the same one as I featured in the video earlier. I think I also put a player distance check as well to the spawner. So you could hide the spawner, and then when someone walks over to it, it spawns all a load of guests. Let's have a look. I think it might be on a time. Okay. Right, let's trigger it. Oh, there we go. No. Get away from me. Run. It's guests. So that's the annoying guest script. I don't know why I made this. Bye bye, cruel world. Yeah, I killed them all. Yeah, so that's the talking guest, or the annoying guest script. So let's move on. Trying to keep this video as small as, or not as long as I can. So the next one is a start GUI field. I know I've done a video on this one, but I can't remember if I released it or not. I think I might have done. It's basically if you think of a star field and you're flying through it, kind of like this. That one. There you go. So it's basically just a star field as if you're drifting through space. There you go. That's basically all it is. I may even use that later for I'm actually thinking about making a space game where we have this sort of effect. I might work on it to work out all the bugs and things. That'll look quite good, rather than have a 3D object inside the workspace. Have that per player or something. Anyway, move on to the next one. This laser slicer is not fully my code, but I've included it into the pack because I'm converting it from a example I found on free models. I don't know who the original coder was, but this laser can literally, as the name says, slice through anything. Here we go. So it doesn't have to be a full, it can slice through a full block or a model like this bus. So when it gets around, right, here we go. It's going to destroy this bus or cut it in half. There you go. And the block in the background is a full block. There you go. So it cuts through absolutely anything and destroys it. I may even make this into a turret later with this effect, like the ultimate turret, one that you cannot stop or something, or you have to stop through a button or something. I don't know. I guess the limit is my imagination, or if you like, suggest what I can do with it. Anyway, you got a copy of it now. It's basically I think it was a ray gun or something that I managed to take out of the gun and put inside this example, and that took a few months to work out how it's working. I still don't know 100% sure how it works. So that's the next one. So the next is this transparency modifier. If you think about the way Roblox sort of does transparency, there's another little feature per player where you got transparency per player. This might work better if I have multiple players in a test environment. So let's do that. So what's basically meant to happen is each player should see that face or something pop up. I know it's ugly. Right, let's see if I can wait for everything to load up, then I'll be able to show you. And it rearranged a bit. So that's the server. Let's close that down. This might lag me right very down because I've never tried all the servers and things while recording. Come on then. Yeah, this is lagging me down. Right, so that's the server. Allow access. As always. Thank you Windows 10 for making my showing thing not streamless. Right. So we got one player there, and it's obviously there, but in the actual player itself we don't see anything. And for player 2, which is that one there, we see it. Let's resize that. See if we can snap these a bit better. No, I can't snap that. Yeah, so basically, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Let's resize that a bit more. No, I did not want to do that. Go away, Windows. So basically, it's just lets players see things that other players cannot see. That's all it is. And that's the server. That's player 2. That's player 1. There you go. You can see it now. And player 1 cannot see anything. So that's all it is. Very, very simple. Alright, let's clean up and close. Go. Yep, so that's that one. It's using a local script to work, sort of thing. It's inserting a local script into a player so it can actually work with it. Anyway, so you got a copy of that. This next one is very, very similar to that last, to the one that we just looked at. But this one works by the whole server. And I think I've done a video on it. Let's put my things back. Where are we? View. Output. Yeah, so if I run this, we should see some parts flying past. Or not. There you go. I think I reversed it in the video that I did. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. So it's the illusion of looking through another dimension. And of course it breaks a little bit if you go too fast. So yeah, that's basically all that is. You could combine the local transparency thing with this code and it'd be quite an awesome effect. So yeah, that's the next one. So the next one is basically that converter that I showed you just now. So let's skip that. Let's move on to my Petrol engine. This is basically my attempt at making a Petrol engine in Roblox, where I'd attempted this beforehand and it sort of blew up prior to constraints and things. So we'll run that. ignite it. There we go. So you can play around with this if you want. Add more pistons if you like. You might have to write a bit more code in the actual code itself. Where are we? It's somewhere here. It's been a while. There we go. So if you add more pistons, you might have to add as many as you want on there. So let's say 8. And you might have to add it other places as well. Oh yeah, that's my petrol engine if you like. So let's move on. This rain simulation, I know I haven't done a video with it. I was actually thinking about making a video for it, but I never got around to doing it. If you ever record in a storm or something, or rain, you sometimes get a rain effect on the camera where it splashes on the camera. So if I run it, we'll see the rain dropping down. There we go. Then when you look up with the camera, I don't know how well that's showing on YouTube. There we go. So you will see the splashing effect on the camera. When you look back down again, they don't do anything. As simple as that. And they are actual bricks or parts falling down. It's actually quite laggy for what it is. Yeah, that's lagging me down now because I've opened up the workspace. I may even make this into a proper weather system later, but it's just the effect I was looking for at the time. Yeah, so that's the full script. Anyway, let's move on. This random particle generator with gravity is another example of trying to get myself back into coding again. Whew, nearly done. Yeah, it's because while I was ill back in the beginning of the year, I was basically bored and just sick and tired of my illness. And I thought, I don't know, I'll code things again. And I came up with this. It's a bit laggy because I'm recording at the same time, but on your computer it should be running very, very smooth. It is when I'm not recording. So it's just basically particles created with gravity and a wind sort of blowing it. It's not a perfect wind because it just blows it back and forth. So yeah, so that's the next one. Let's close it down and move on to the next one. This one I know I also haven't got a video for. It's basically my version of an AI to simulate, or closely, or should I say loosely, matching that snake game, where if you play the game you get longer as you go. And then if you touch your tail, it kills you, so you have to start again. This is slightly different to that, where I've just got an AI going around in a grid, and the tail sort of decays, and if another snake hits another tail that is not its own, it sort of moves around the tail, or meant to. As you saw there, it sort of I've just confined it into an area, so it just goes to the edge and goes to the other side, or wraps around if you like. Yeah, so I never actually got round to doing a video for this one. It's another one that video lists until now. So yeah, it's just very, very basic AI that I've done back when I done Langton's Ant video. I thought, oh no, I'll try it in 3D rather than 2D. That's basically what all that is. It's just a very simple version of it, but in 3D. So let's move on. We got the last video that I just uploaded prior to this one. This is the actual file that I recorded with, where you got that red matter explosion, as I called it, and the cannon. Once you load it up, you will have and play it, you will have that effect that you see at the end of that video happening. If you want to disable that effect and see it through this camera, I would disable, go into custom camera model and just disable that script, and we should be good. But I'll play it as is, or should I say run it as is. We should zoom in on this cannon, and then it rotates around and we follow the projectile into what we're firing at. There we go. And my hands are off the keyboard or mouse. There we go. So you can play around with this, you can shoot your friend's house if you like with that cannon. I think I've also programmed it so you can actually fire that cannon again if you want, but you won't get the camera effect. So quite an explosion there. I'll show you what I mean by the camera thing. I'll actually show you the camera. There you go. So that's the camera model I'm using. If I run it, disabled that, so it should be good. There we go. That's what we're viewing through. There we go. I've literally just attached the camera to the projectile, and then when it gets to a point it just disappears. That's it. Quite a cool effect. Anyway, let's move on. I'll let you guys play with that in your own time. This next one is my poor attempt at making a song using scripts. I can't make a song to save my life, but I thought I could try it in my coding anyway. So this is my attempt at doing it. I don't know if I got the audio actually playing on this recording. I don't think I have. So basically when you play it, it plays through a basic tune. I think I might put a card up here somewhere on YouTube just to show you what it goes through, because I can't actually play it here because I haven't got the audio working through Roblox. I think you might hear something there, but it's through my headphones and then back through the microphone. I don't know exactly what's going on with the audio of my computer today. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. It's very quiet. Yeah, so that's just a song example, nothing actually visual. You should put your headphones on and listen to it. So next one, let's move on. This stone effect I had quite a good fun with. It's basically I've done a video on it jokingly that Roblox was acting weird again. So let's play it. Whoa, there we go. Oh, I've removed the cooler. Okay. Yeah, I must have removed that cooler. Oh well. Yeah, so it's basically a weird effect. I've changed it slightly since that video, but the effect is still there. Look how weird that is. Wow. So if you want, you can control your mate's Roblox studio and let him run it, and then he sees this Kind of funny. Yeah, it doesn't exactly delete anything from the workspace, it just duplicates what you got. So if you've got a complex place, it may run it like your game down, sort of thing. I think it creates up to 6 items. No, 3 items. So if you've got a massive place, it may lag it down. Let's move on. This traffic light, I'm actually thinking about doing a little tutorial on how to do. This is what I was thinking of doing while people were asking me to do tutorials before I uploaded that constraint thing. This is basically like, think of a traffic light, basic road traffic light, and what modes it goes through, basically. Let's actually get into the game on this one. There we go, we should see it go green. If you wait, I think about 2 minutes, it will change automatically. Or you can press this button here and it should go through the cycle. So we got red, and now we can actually walk across the road if you like. And of course you can see it there. And then after I think 30 seconds or so, I can't remember how long I left it for or programmed it for, it will go through the motions of get ready and then go. I think I programmed it a bit too long for the video, but it should change in a little bit, hopefully. Here we go. It goes through, and of course the don't walk is actually flashing as well. There you go. So it's basically a traffic light, and I've also programmed it so you can actually hook it into a traffic system where all you have to do is just trigger this. There you go, and it will work out what needs to be flashing and what needs to change and things. So all you got to do is just look for that in your code and set that to true. Then you don't have to worry about any other bits. So if you want, you can have another one across the other side of the road and them to talk to each other, and they act as if they're the same traffic light. So yeah, that's a little example. I've actually been working on about a month, working out how to do things. I think it's quite good at the moment. So let's move on to the next one. This one is a variation of a video I done a little while ago, True Water Effect, where beforehand I had actual bricks moving up and down. In this example I've moved on to a surface GUI, and of course you can actually mouse over the GUI. So at the moment you've got nothing displaying on there until I move mouse over. There you go. And of course if you click and hold, it will pull the water up. There you go. Look at that. It's a bit laggy because I'm recording. It might actually run quicker on your computer. And if you want, you can actually resize the part. Depends on how strong your computer is. It's really CPU intensive. It's just basically the same script that I converted to a Surface GUI. Yeah, Surface GUI. Oh, did I forget something there? Okay, whatever. Well, it's, oh, wait a minute, that's the other one. Yeah, I've also included the original that I showed in that video, the line thing. That's better. That was all in one. Ooh, blimey, lots of talking. So yeah, I just commented out the original and just put into a GUI. That's what I've done. So the last one is a prototype of, if you think of a wind acting on things like boxes, cardboard boxes and things in your yard or something. I wanted to recreate that in Roblox, and this is my attempt at doing it, where we got different blocks stacked up and different sort of sizes, and in Roblox there's sort of different weights, where if you blow on a small box it would actually move. If you increase the weight and size of that box, it will start to not move, if you like, in the wind. So if I run this, these blocks should move, and it also affects on players as well, but it's rather laggy, or shall I say it pushes you off the base plate. There you go, bye part. So look, simulating blowing by the wind, if you like. And if you look closely, you can actually see it rotating as well. I don't know if you can see that on Roblox rendering. It's actually bending towards the right now. Then eventually it will bend back to the left. There we go. It's actually moving now. So that's my wind effect, if you like. It's still very, very basic at the moment. Doesn't look it, but it's very, very basic. Using maths in Math Cos to get the sort of the effect of the wind. So yeah, that's my Christmas pack this year, which is oh, still got one more. Who can forget my worm maggot simulation? I could. So yeah. So hopefully by the time you see this video you'll be able to download this pack. If all goes well, it should be in the description down below, like a link to it on my Dropbox as per usual. Ah yes, we need to be in the place for this one. Play. There we go. Get me that worm. Come and get me. Yeah, so that's my worm example, if you like. Yeah, so it's trying to turn around and get me. I hear some of you have actually used this to eat humanoids or players, if you like. That's actually quite a good idea. Yeah, I never got that far, so pros to you, I guess. Anyway, that's been my Christmas pack for 2017, and hopefully next year won't be as late as this one. What date are we now? 30th, blimey, 5 days late. Oh well. So yeah, hope you guys had a good Christmas, and I hope you guys have a very good New Year's Day. And if you're old enough, don't drink too much. But what the hell, it's Christmas Day, so New Year's Day even. So just enjoy yourself, I say. And if you learn anything from these examples, let me know, and I'll be amazed at what you can do with this. And of course, almost forgot, this year's README is kinda a clone of last year, but I've changed things around, as you can see. And you can read about what I put on there as well. So yeah, if you actually use any of these examples in your place, could you please give me credit for the code that you, or the examples that you use? Especially if I had to, you can forget what I just said about anything else apart from George. George is about, I'll say about 4 to 5 years in the making. So he's, if you like, my pride and joy. Cross between him and my plugin. So that's my serious sort of coding. Anyway, this has been TGstudios in Roblox Studio. Let's actually load George back up again and watch him play with the centrifuge on the outro. When it loads, and I can't believe I'm releasing George. I suppose it's about time he got out and about. He's been cooped up on my computer for so long. 4 or 5 years, I think. Let's actually get into the game and play with him. George, where are you? I'm going to beat you to it. Well, where are you going, George? What are you going to do now? Hey? No, it's mine. So we'll get in there quick. Ah, he beat me. No, George. Anyway, this has been TGstudios in Roblox Studio on my Christmas pack for 2017. And I'll catch you guys later, and hopefully I'll have a few more videos next year than I did this year. I just hope I'm not ill again this year, next year. Anyway, catch you guys later, and Happy New Year. George, you're sick again.